Hello there and welcome to Ratio and Proportion Part 2. So this is a follow-up to the Ratio and Proportion Test 1 that you had done earlier. This goes into a little bit more detail and more practice for you in terms of this topic. So let's read the question together. The mother bear is fed 6 fish for every 3 fish that her cub is fed. How many fish would the cub get if the mother is fed 26 fish? Okay, so let's just write this down here. So we have the mother, and then we have the cub. So for every 6 fish that the mother has, the cub will have 3. So in other words, the cub will always have half of what the mother has. So how many fish would the cub get if the mother is fed 26 fish in total? So now we know that the mother eats 6 fish and the cub has 3. So the cub will have half of what the mother has. So all we need to do now is work out what 26 divided by 2 is. So we're just working out the half of 26. So 2 goes into 2 once and 2 goes into 6 3 times. So in this case, the cub will have 13 fish as opposed to the mother who is going to have 26. So in this case, our answer is option A, which is 13 fish altogether. Okay, and that's how ratio and proportion is actually worked out, because you're working out the ratio, but at the same time, you're working out individual proportions to where the selected answers will go. So in this question number 2, there are 6 boys for every 9 girls. So let's just write this down. So it's always good to do working out first of all. For every 6 boys, there are 9 girls at the disco. So let's just write down disco at the top. How many boys are there if there are 54 girls? So let's just write this down. So 54 girls. And how many boys will there be in this case? Now we just have to find out what the factor is and how we're going to actually work out this particular question. So in order to work out the next part, we need to find out what the factor is from 6 to 9 and 9 to 6. So in other words, how do we get from 6 to 9 and from 9 to 6, vice versa? And once we worked out that common factor, that factor number, we can then apply it to 54. So let's work out how many times 6 goes into 9. So we're just going to do 9 divided by 6, 9 divided by 6 to work out our scale factor that we're going to apply to 54 girls to work out how many boys there were. So 6 divides into 9 once, and now we have a remainder of 3. So our remainder is here, remainder 3. But that doesn't give us a correct answer because we need to work out a decimal point. So what we're going to do is now, we are going to divide only the remainder by 6. So only the remainder by 6, which is 3, and we're just going to stick a 0.0 at the end. So 6 cannot go into 3. So now we're just going to move that decimal point. So 6 cannot be divided into 3, so you put a 0 there, and this decimal point comes to the top, just there. And now we join the 3 and the 0 together to make 30. So how many times can 6 divide into 30? So we know that 6 can divide into 30 5 times. So 0.5. So now we're going to add these two numbers together, 1 and 0.5. So 1 and 0.5 gives us 1.5 as a scale factor. So now we know that if you were to multiply 6 by 1.5, so 6 multiplied by 1.5 gives us 9. Or if you were to do 9 divided by 1.5, that gives us 6. And if you want, you can actually check that on the calculator as well. We're going to do the same thing here. we're going to divide 54 girls by 1.5. Okay, 54 girls, we're going to divide by 1.5. All right, and that will give us a total answer of 36 boys all together. Okay, so that's one way to work out this question. But there's another simpler way to work this out as well. Let's just show you one other method of how we can work the scale factors out. So let's just delete this. Okay, so now we know that 9 multiplied by what number gives us 54? So 9 multiplied by 6 will give us 54. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. We do 6 multiplied by 6 equals 36 boys. Okay, so either method is good. This one, obviously, the second method is much, much simpler than the first. So you decide how you think you'll work out the rest of these questions. So the answer for this question is 36 boys, and we're going for option D. Good luck with these, and we'll review these in our next class. Take care.